Hey, welcome everyone to another episode of The Workshop, which I don't know why I keep calling them episodes. This is not a TV show. It's not a show, it's a workshop. So here with me I have Kate Carlson, Naren Van, and Lori, aka Lollybee. Is that your stage name?
It's a name I use sometimes on stage.
Sometimes on stage.
It's my family nickname, Lolly.
Lolly. Oh, and I have Brendan who's on his way. Oh, hey, I know you.
Yep.
How's it going?
Good.
You're good. I'm currently located in Montreal. Where are you, Katie?
I am in Snohomish, Washington.
Washington. And what about you, Naren?
Auburn, Washington.
What about you, Lori?
I'm on Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island. And Brendan?
Bonnie Lake, Washington.
Washington. And someone just logged in, but I can't see their face.
It's just a little because
I'm
putting my face on right now.
You're what?
I'm putting my face on, you know.
I see.
Mm-hmm. But
Where
no,
are
I'm
you located right now?
I'm in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. So a lot of Americans tonight. I see. We're like two Canadians, I guess. Which is fine. This is okay. They're gonna overtake us, I guess.
You'll accept us.
Yeah.
In our sad state.
You guys will squirt by. You're gonna be fine. So yeah, before we start, I just want to make everything clear with everyone. There's like people watching. This is a comedy safe space, which means we're trying stuff. We're trying to find where the line is. We might cross the line from time to time. There's no judgment here. You can say whatever you want to say with the intent of being funny. It might get a bit raunchy at times. So just keep that in mind. It's not a safe space. It's the opposite of a safe space, okay?
Perfect space for you, Naren. You can't get put in Facebook jail here.
Yeah, that is true. Yes. Okay. Cool. Perfect.
The way it works is we each do 3 to 5 minutes on a random topic we were given, and then we're going to do 3 to 5 minutes of our own material, and we're going to give each other feedback throughout all this. And at the end, if you like what you see, we're going to tell you where you can find us. So that's going to be nice. On that note, does someone want to take the bullet? Or I can do it. I'll do it. I'm the host. I'm hosting this. Also, my writing has been really bad today. I don't know what's going on with me. I have like comedy ED or something. I just can't get there for some reason. Which is embarrassing. This never happens to me. All right, let me start my timer. My topic.
To everybody.
That's what they keep saying. My topic was channels. And I wrote here the English channel is channel 4. That's not a joke. I have a YouTube channel with like 23 subscribers. And I feel like people are really stingy with their subscribes. You know, I subscribe to everything. I like everything. And I heart everything. You know, the way I see it is those are free. It's the little underground YouTube channels. Subscribe. Post about how your day went. Like new dress. Like your boyfriend is gay. Like you know. The only problem with that is that sometimes I end up unliking something I already liked because I'm clicking the like button too much. Here I wrote that channel in French is Chanel, which I guess their TV channels have fragrances. That's very cultured. What's the difference between a channel and a canal? The canal is to the channel what silicone is to Nicki Minaj's ass. I don't think that's how that joke works. The canal is to the channel what fake boobs are to cancer patients. That's not.
Okay.
I think I don't understand that format of joke. The canal is to the channel what drag is to women. The canal is to the channel what antidepressants are to my dopamine receptors. I don't know. From a more educational standpoint, like the canal is the fake one and the channel is the real body of water. Whatever. So the Weather Channel is the most useful of the channels out there. Even more than the news channel, in my opinion. It's as close as we can ever get to divination. How's your weekend gonna pan out? Looks like you're gonna be depresso time because it's supposed to rain for 3 days. You know? How about Monday? Monday you should go skiing because it's gonna be very sunny. You know, Tuesday is gonna freeze back over, so you're not gonna be able to make it to your car without scraping your knees. Think about that for a second. That's pretty amazing. Music video channels. I wish there was still music video channels. They don't really exist anymore. I wrote down, and I don't know why, I said those music videos mostly make me horny. I like being horny. It's nice. Oh, Victoria, what is going on? Am I okay? Am I okay? Yeah, on satellite radio, there's a station completely dedicated to the Beatles. And the names of the songs appear on the satellite radio screen, but there's still a host for some reason. And the host, all he does is he says, hey, you just heard Hey Jude from the Beatles. That one was Penny Road from the Beatles. Thank God he's there. You know, all he ever does is ask callers who their favorite Beatle is. I don't know. I don't expect that hosts last very long at that radio station without completely quitting the business. Oh yeah, if I could have my own TV channel, I think I would make a music video channel because, as I said before, I like being horny. And it would be music videos made by real musicians, like people who've seen things and been through some shit, like real rock and roll stars. And it would be called The Music Trauma Victims, MTV. I'm gonna leave it there because after that is just a bunch of rape jokes and I don't feel like doing that. So thank you. What did you guys think?
I think you're self-deprecating.
Love your imagination.
Oh no, everyone's speaking at the same time. Okay, Katie, you start. What did you think?
Okay, I really enjoyed little throwaway moments that were funny. Like I don't understand how that works. I thought the canal bit was a little confusing. Like I think audiences would be like, "What?" I really liked the YouTube bit. I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was cute. Talking about the YouTube, and you just like everything, but your self-deprecating kind of delivery is very fun. You have a good pace. It was good.
Oh, thank you. It was very nice. What about you, Naren? What did you think?
Okay, so my audio has been kind of shit, but I heard bits and pieces of it, so you heard me like laugh a couple times. But so the thing I would probably put in like with YouTubers, like I've seen people try to be YouTubers. Like my future brother-in-law, he sent me a video of himself. He's like, hey, here's my reaction video to me finding out my dog died. I'm like, I don't want to watch you cry, you know. So like basically, he's showing a video of like, hey, well, just do whatever. It's like, and then he's like, don't forget to like, subscribe, and whatever. Just at the very end, at the very end, tragic video. So you think of right there because the terrible timing of that. Another thing you could go with the Beatles thing. I thought that was pretty funny because it's like How
So
fucking
funny.
boring is that? Obviously, the song is about the Beatles. You got to be running out of Beatles news. Like, oh, breaking news: John Lennon, he's still dead. He's still dead. Nothing new going on with that guy. And then you'd be like, all right, guys, so we're gonna do a survey of the best living Beatle, and it's still Ringo. All right, just Ringo still. That's all it is right there. Just go. I would go like a darker route with that there. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it right there. But yeah. And then they could have like a thing where somebody like, hey, somebody calls me, hey, can I request a Wings song? It's like, how fucking dare you? This is the Beatles station, god damn it. We do not play any Paul McCartney Wings here, you piece of shit. Get off my fucking phone or whatever like that. So I don't know. I'm just angry.
Request a Yoko Ono song. That will blow people.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't do that.
There we go.
Lori, what did you think?
For sure. But go ahead, Lori.
I liked especially the Chanel and the fragrance bit. And it made me think, because channel, it made me also think of channel, but you didn't touch on channel, did you?
What is a channel?
The channel is the big tunnel that goes between
The big
France and
tunnel.
Britain,
Oh, okay.
underneath the whatever that body of water is called.
Under the
Okay.
channel.
The English Channel.
The tunnel
Yeah.
in the channel. It's a
Ah,
tunnel
I
in the channel, so it's a channel. Yeah.
So, anyways, it just struck me that that could be an opportunity to research the channel.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's good
Fun.
advice. What about you, Brendan? What did you think? Brandon. I keep calling
Brandon,
you
yeah.
Brandon.
I liked it. I mean, I agree with everything everyone else said. The one part that's funny, I've been on a couple of these with Victoria, so I thought about when you're talking about, the getting horny part, you could bring back to the bullet.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
so that's something that she talks about in her other bit. So it was just I thought that was funny. Once you started about that part, it really made me think about the bullet, and I mean
Yeah.
the other
Maybe I
thing.
could do a whole like I'm lonely and horny.
Yeah, you're lonely and horny. I mean, go back to more about your clit. But I mean, once again, that's something else from a different workshop that I remember. So not that
Yeah.
I was thinking about your whatever, but
That's
But
okay. Yeah.
so
I might later on, so we'll see.
yeah. So I was just thinking that hearing some of your other stuff before, you could tie some of that into your other bets, some
you.
callbacks.
What about you, Sister Lou?
I was gonna say something along what he was saying about doing the callbacks. Like, I loved how you went into the Beatles channel thing, and I would have kind of expanded on that a little bit more, even like how people channel things that you're saying and they flip it and they get it completely fucking wrong, like, and just kind of add in a couple of ad libs for that, and then when you were talking about how the thing makes you horny, I would have expanded on that too, like just some random, some kind of the word is channel, so you could have said or chennai, the Latin version, and that gets me horny too, like just whatever, you know what I mean? But I really enjoyed it. I definitely liked your pace as well, but I definitely enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It was very kind. All right, we're gonna move on to our second comedian, which is it okay if who wants to go second? Does Katie want to go second?
I'll go. Yeah, sure.
Is it Kate or
Um,
Katie?
It's Kate.
They
Kate
call me
Carlson
Katie
Carlson.
this whole time.
That's okay. I go by Katie too. If you must have known me when I was a child in a different life. They call me Katie. Okay, so my word, unreachable. Okay. Do you remember when you could be completely unreachable? Like really just unreachable, not dead cell service. Completely unreachable. I think some of you on here do. Some of you don't. I don't think some of you even have a clue of what that life is like. There was no anxiety attached to it, not a bit. And once you left the house, you were just unreachable. It was crazy. If someone tried calling me while I was gone, they had two choices. they could leave a message or not leave a message. It was magical. It was magical. I could go out partying with my friends, and all I had to do was be back by curfew. Really. No mom calling to see if my phone died. No parent blowing up your phone, stalking your Facebook, stalking your Instagram, stalking your Snapchat, stalking your WhatsApp. I don't know what they stalk anymore. I need to find out. My kids are only 13. I need to find out what I'm going to have to stalk. But yeah, if you were late, you just had to decide, do I race home for curfew? Or do I throw caution to the wind and say, fuck it? I was in the fuck it category most of the time, and you just dealt with the consequences because you were unreachable. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. You know, I do miss those days. It was right now being reachable at all times is kind of a constant stress. Right now we have to carry battery packs with us wherever we go. In case of emergencies, of course, oh my God, did you see this meme? Or that emergency mom, don't forget the chips at the store. Or that really emergency, mom, the cat pooped in the living room. You know, real 911 stuff. We need all of our phones for those 911 things, yes? Thanks to cell phones, we're just completely afraid to be unreachable in our world right now. I personally keep my phone on silent. And because I'm in and out of a classroom, I have 4 children. I was in kindergartens and volunteering a lot. So I keep my phone on silent. And yes, I can turn it off, but then how would I know if somebody's calling me? Okay. So I keep it on silent and become extremely attuned to the bzzz, bzzz. It's like I have started to take on dog ear qualities thanks to my cell phone. So now when I lose my cell phone in the house, I walk around and I listen for bzzz, 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 in a totally silent house. It's fantastic. My ears are so highly sensitive. Or I just walk around and I say, hey Siri, tell me a joke. That helps. We'll come back. And no, Siri did not tell me all these. Clearly, they'd be much better, I think. It is a weird added stress, though, this unreachableness. My first step into being unreachable, my first step into no longer being unreachable was when it was in the early 90s. I got a pager. Oh my God, yes. I got a pager. I bought and paid for my very own pager. And don't hate on my pager. It was a super dope pager. Okay. I had a very dope pager. My friends could just page me with their number and a 911. Or if they were feeling cheeky, they would page me with 557-8008. Does that code mean? What does that code mean, Kate? It sounds very cryptic. Well, when you get that code, you flip it upside down and it just says boobless. It's fantastic. Try it. Try it with any digital. But yeah, you get a pager. You get a page from your friends. And then you'd have to drive around and search for a payphone and 50 cents. And then you could handle whatever emergency just 911 you. So let's hope they're not paging me with a knife sticking out of their heart. Because now, if people had pagers, they could never get to a phone, right? There's no payphones anywhere. But yeah. Let's see. Yep. So that's how we dealt with emergencies in the 90s. It was fun. Oh, is that time?
Yeah.
Same time?
Yeah,
Right,
sorry.
Because the rest was just blah, blah, blah.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't even notice the time, and I'm like, oh, it's 5 minutes.
I'm glad I could whisk you away into my comedy.
Actually, you're a really good storyteller, I was gonna say. It's very whatever you say is very easy to understand what you're talking about, which is not given to everyone. I'm including myself in there. And I really like that you were like, you went to talk about cell phones and stuff because it brought me back. And I thought there's three things you could talk about. First of all, like the kid emergency, I thought it was really funny. You could be like, your kid texts you, emergency, I need some chips. And also there's a strange man at the door or something, like, because you don't have any perception of what's actually dangerous or not. And then when you said, hey, Siri, tell me a joke, I thought it could be funny if you actually told a Siri joke, but with like the right inflection and everything.
Like the Siri inflection or real inflection?
Yeah, no, you're a good comedian inflection. Like, tell it like you mean it, like a good, like it's a good one-liner. Like you wrote it.
Okay.
And the pagers thing, I thought it was really funny that you were like, oh, I hope my friend doesn't have a knife sticking out of her heart. And I was thinking, wait a minute, they page like doctors, maybe that's not the most efficient way to reach someone in case of an emergency. It's weird that they have pagers, but that's all the parallels I could make. What about you, Naren? What did you think?
Well, you could probably use like more scenarios like we're so addicted to our phone. Like nowadays, you leave the house. Now, if I get lost, I can't call anyone. Now I have to talk to strangers. And you're probably playing up a whole angle of how you have anxiety where you don't like talking to strangers and stuff. And now it's just like, I remember like a true story for me. Like I remember being in Portland. I remember I was just like, I asked a homeless guy, I was like, hey man, you know what the closest liquor store is? Here you go, thanks. Here's $1. Then I walked away. It's like, oh fuck, I have a cell phone. It gives me all the directions to everything I need. So it's like we rely so much on our phones for all the things we do, reviews. And I even say like you're following me on Instagram. You can be like, I was like, yeah, my favorite thing about having a phone nowadays is we can eat our food right away. Nobody's taking a picture of our fucking food, and we have to like post and all the other stuff here. Super millennial and stuff. And you probably talk about more generational stuff with like talk about how there's more codes with the pagers. And like there's a lot of things you don't know. There are like all these other things that like you got to do more things to kill time. Like back in my day, but oh man, nowadays you have everything in your phone. I remember the first cell phone I had, we played Snake. Just like do like ooh Snake. Yeah, that's what I would probably go into. And what happened to what's her face? Is she still putting on makeup?
I think she left. Maybe she really didn't like my set. I don't know.
No,
she just left.
Like the Beatles or whatever. No, mine
was very controversial. Mine was
she's
super
back.
controversial.
She's back.
My thing dropped, y'all, and I'm like trying to get these links.
Oh,
no, you
that's
got
okay.
You got the best lighting and everything. There we go. Looks good.
Yeah. I thought I said something. Maybe I don't know.
Oh no.
We were just giving each other feedback on Kate's material. I think we're up to Lori.
I particularly enjoyed the throwback to the pager, and I like that your use of the word magical, and the choices people had to like leave a message or not, like good deadpan. I like that, and I like the carrying the battery pack in case of transmission of emergency memes. Enjoyed that.
All right.
Thank you.
What about you, Brandon?
I enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked like everyone else. I liked the throwback to I remember having my first pager and all that kind of stuff, and all the crazy things that you would get and what we had to go through. Someone sent you a page, and like you said, you had to find a phone and do all that crazy stuff. I liked it. The ridiculous emergency with the kids. I think you need to. I really liked kind of how you came up with just some of the ridiculous things. I mean, I know my sending you messages from the other room to like bring you a sandwich or something. It's like you could get up and do it yourself. I mean, stuff like that. I mean, I like the ridiculous emergencies. Yeah.
It's good. And then Cisco, who you missed it, so I don't think
I didn't
You
even
don't
get to catch it.
No,
I'm
that's
sorry.
okay. You can always watch it back later because it's gonna stay on the.
Oh,
If you're
what
so
a sad day for you. No, I'm kidding.
we're gonna
Who
move
are
on
you?
to Naren if Naren's ready and wants to go.
Sure. But yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I didn't prepare any material like the freestyle. God, like, oh, there it goes. Like, anyway, so agony, which is perfect here. That's my word. The definition of agony is extreme physical or mental suffering. And Brandon,
You're cutting out a lot.
I've been to Facebook jail 7 times already for just random. Am I cutting in and out again?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
a lot. Okay, so I sound like a Bruce Lee movie. Just every other word just coming out here. That's always fun, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, so internet. So shitty internet is also agonizing. I don't know if kids can understand what that's like. I remember when it used to take me 12 minutes to download one goddamn song of LimeWire while giving my computer AIDS. So that's how long it should take to download a song, let alone doing an album. But yeah, technology. When technology isn't there for you, it's painfully agonizing. Me as comedians, we market ourselves and we put ourselves a brand out there. I have a pretty decent following.
You cut off completely.
That is gone.
It's like people basically like, hey, you can't post this. I'm like, yeah, I can because I found this from you guys, and now they put in fucking jail for 30 days. And some of you guys know, two of you guys know that I'm an ordained minister. I marry people for my side job. You know how embarrassing it is for me to tell a person that wants to hire me for their service, like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Sorry, you could message me for 30 days on Facebook. I found a funny porno meme that I thought was funny to share on my personal account. Now I can't message you at all back or anything like that. So it's not really good for my business, which makes it very, very agonizing for me to move on and stuff. Also, things that are agonizing, Zoom shows, for one. There we go. I'm just going to go in there. It's like we're not getting the right feedback. Everything here. This is why it's always agony. My internet works just great when I'm watching you guys, but the moment I'm starting to talk, it's trying to express myself. And then also the kids. This is also the fucking kids' room. If you can't tell, I'm right next to the damn internet Wi-Fi thing, but this is where all the kids' toys are. And they never come in this room ever. They never come in this room ever. They only come in this room whenever I'm doing a fucking Zoom show every time. That's also mentally agonizing. I normally don't swear this much on stage, but I'm just very, very frustrated right now. And I think you guys are gone again. There we go. But yeah, so, there's a lot of things that agonize you. It's very the weird thing about like COVID is, I'm thinking about this, is like, what if someone's a star and they need to push them, you know, they need someone to push them, and they decided not to work out this year, and instead of being a star athlete, they discovered ways to gain 30 pounds. You know, there's a lot of things, a lot of big setbacks for a lot of people here with this. Everyone's face is disappearing. This is great. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of things are agonizing about all these things here, especially like the other day, like the last time I went to Facebook jail before this, somebody made fun of me. I had a meme about like, you know, penis size or whatever. So I made fun of myself. My own penis size and my own thing. And I went to jail for a week for bullying myself. It was the weirdest thing. Like, you can't even have self-deprecating jokes. I'm like on a watch list for everything on Facebook right now. So I can't post for the next 3 days. I can't help promote my friend's album that he's finally releasing tomorrow that I promised I was going to promote it the day that it dropped, and now I can't even promote that. But yeah, no, it's been an interesting time being on Facebook jail. I'm kind of a millennial where I kind of rely too much on the internet and everything here just to get my name out there. But yeah, I'm not saying I'm one of those parlor guys that needs to, like, you know, post Nazi stuff. But, you know, I just like to post jokes, and that's all it is. I'm a very harmless guy. I'm very nice. I mean, look at my office. Never mind. This office does look like a serial killer's office. Never mind. I apologize for that. That's not a good example. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be. I'm just playing around. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very good. I'm sorry that like your connection was bad. I wish I could have heard all that.
Yeah, just lots of slurs. Well, no, I'm just, you know, I'm a very nice guy, but now it's just frustrating because I'll start talking fast. There's all a black screen. I'm like, okay, cool. That's wonderful.
That was the
Well-
suggestion I was going to say. Just slow down a little bit because I could hear bits and pieces. But
Yeah.
by the time I was catching up, you had moved on to something else. And I was like, damn, I know it was something in there.
Yeah.
It was good, though.
It was good.
Yeah, like
Um,
that's another rant for another day on Zoom shows. But yeah, no, that's how I feel. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. It's nice to see people that I've never seen before. So I know two of you guys personally for shows here, but like Brandon knows how often I go to Facebook jail. He's made a comment about it from the beginning. So. And Brandon, you look great, dude. How much you lose? You lose like 100 pounds, dude. You look fucking great.
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually at like 98 that I've lost. I haven't hit the 100-pound mark yet. I just missed it. I'm almost there.
Congratulations.
All right.
That's hilarious.
Let's go take a big hit on that back row. You got this, man. You're fine.
I do have a
There
little
goes
bit
the
of
audio
feedback
again.
for you.
Perfect. I was giving him a compliment. I was giving him a compliment when he went out. But yes, please go ahead.
I have a little bit of feedback. I really like when you said you gave your computer A's, or you were like risking giving your computer A's. And then you said you got put into Facebook jail. And I thought you could say, like, you could do a rant where you just say, like, oh, you were bullying yourself because of your penis size, and then you have a small penis, and then Facebook put you in jail because you were bullying yourself, and then, like, in the end, you could just say, like, oh, Facebook doesn't allow any small penises on its, like, channels or whatever. Like, that's the reason why you got put in Facebook jail. I don't know if your penis is small. Like, I don't know what it was about. Like, but
I'll send you a DM later. But the thing is, no. Like two of you guys have seen me. I'm not like ranty and like fast talking. I'm usually slow and like methodical and everything here. But this is me trying as many words as I can before I lose connections with everything. So this is totally not how I normally.
but,
At least I like to think about it. Right, Kate? Right? But anyways.
Did you have did you have any feedback, Kate? Did you catch enough?
I do. You know, one thing that's just because I know Naren, and I know that isn't normally, you're not super fast when you do your stand up. But one thing about the Facebook jail, a little tag that I was thinking about is if you do a joke about I'm in Facebook jail a lot, you could follow it up with I have a high rate of recidivism. Because you're always in Facebook jail. Yeah. So I think that would be a funny tag. And yeah, I think you should develop your Facebook jail stuff because that you are kind of known for that. So kind of deprecating the computer or something. I don't know. I think that was good. And I think it's funny about the kids' room looking like a serial killer. That's fun for Zoom comedy because if you have a really weird background, you know, half the time I'm in the bedroom. So I think you being in a kid or pedophile jokes don't work over very well.
No, I don't want to go.
Yeah, you'll go to Facebook jail, Zoom jail. They'll zoom you right in it. But yeah, I just kept thinking of you have a high rate of recidivism would be a funny line.
Yeah, definitely.
Got it.
Lori, what about you? Did you catch enough for some feedback?
I missed a lot of it. I caught, I guess, about how no one goes in this room except when I'm doing the Zoom meeting or call or whatever. And so I appreciated that and liked it, but there was a lot of it that you were cracking up for and I couldn't catch. So
yeah, no, of course.
Wow.
Yeah, no, the word was agony, so that's there we go.
Yeah.
Technical, physical, mental agony.
Appropriate. It was agonizing.
What about you, Brandon?
Well, I liked it. Like Kate said, I've seen Naren quite a bit. Actually, the very first comedy show I ever did, like 10 years ago, was with Naren. So I know his rhythm's a little different normally in person, but it was good to see. I do agree that you should do a little bit more on the Facebook jail and just really like emphasize on that. Maybe make some jokes about how hard it is to make wine in the bathtub or something, or, you know, making toilet liquor and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, just really kind of bring it into the whole idea of like real jail, you know, I had to trade my, something for cigarettes last week or something crazy. Just
My
go
mouse.
farther into that
My
and really,
Thank you. What about you, Sister Lou? I know you already gave a little bit.
Well, I didn't get to hear enough. I was trying to follow it, and it was just choppy. But I mean, I could tell that the topics he was talking about, I was like, yeah, like I was waiting for the other parts, and I just did it. But yeah, the Facebook jail thing. Oh my God, yes, honey. Please expand on that for sure. And so many people be caught up in that. Like, damn. So yeah,
That's good.
I enjoyed that. And slow down a little bit, just a little bit, because I was trying. I couldn't get it.
Yeah, I promise you I'm not that fast of a talker on stage. This is more along the lines like I need to get these words out before I get cut out kind of thing. Because those Kate and Brandon's worked with me for like many years. I'm very slow. I'm like a Jeselnik kind of guy, I like to think. But yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, hey, Kevin.
Kevin says they don't
that's-
teach you how to
you know,
make shanks. They teach you how to make
We
memes.
say that in Seattle about Naren all the time. Naren is so slow.
Yeah.
All right, Naren.
Yes, just as slow as the
Slow.
internet. Yeah.
All right. We're gonna move on to the next comedian, which is gonna be Lori. If you want to go.
Sure. So, I have disappointment. And I'm sorry I'm not better prepared. I would be if I wasn't so feckin' lazy. Getting the word disappointment, it concerns me a little bit because it makes me feel like someone's been like eavesdropping on my life, peeping in the windows of my soul of sorrow. So like, really, what are the chances that that would be my word? Disappointment is 14 fucking letters long. It is a noun with 4 syllables. It first came into known use in the year 1577. It's Middle English, stemming from Old French. So prior to 1577, disappointment didn't exist, apparently. It is expression of dispossession of an appointed office, like a prophecy of Trump from 1577. Various translations are as follows: Latin, destitutione; French, deception; Portuguese, disappuntamento; Italian, delusione; Irish.
Yes.
It looks like Dioma, but you know the Irish, it's probably pronounced like a feckin' dick. Shuangde. Chinese, but it really just sounds like they're talking about a penis, right? Japanese, shitsusobo. Well, that's self-explanatory. Swedish, bexkavalis, but I think you pronounce it IKEA. Wang. I think it means this breakfast doesn't really look very good. German, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. However, it probably sounds like the opposite of Schadenfreude, which, if you don't know, is the pleasure that we take in watching someone else's pain, but in a delightful way. In both Polish and Russian, Rozczołwania. Sounds like I'll have another drink, please. So, some synonyms would be arising from unmet expectations, dismay. It's an emotion related to sadness, heartbreak. What else can I tell you? Disappointment. We can also make the words Spain, pint, painted, piston, distant, tap, Ted, point, pit, pet, pat, pot, tent. sedition, and the word nipple. Nothing says disappointment like your parents telling you, I am disappointed in you. As a parent, it is our responsibility to influence and teach our children in a positive way. Support them through their disappointments. Otherwise, well, we get a 70-plus-year-old man who looks in the mirror and thinks they're looking at a self-made, sexy tanned populist leader of the free world that commands the deranged. And that will somehow keep him out of prison. What can I say? I could tell you about the story of my biggest or my littlest disappointments. When my mother died, I had the responsibility to compose her eulogy. I had all these little bits and pieces of information written down, and I couldn't find a way to tie them all together. But I couldn't sleep the night before her celebration of life. So I woke up early in the morning and dyed my hair. Orange, fucking orange. Drove down to the mall as soon as it opened, went into the first hairstylist place I came to. The woman fixed my hair. As I'm talking, I'm writing, trying to fix the eulogy, and she asks me, who died? And I tell her, and she goes, oh, Susie, I know her. I knew your mother. I used to do her hair. Are you the daughter who was married to the pilot, or the daughter who has all the children? And I was like, burst into tears. I thought my mother really didn't have much use for me. I was a disappointment. And this hairdresser let me know that my mother thought enough to talk about me while she got her hair done. And voila, I had the finish and the clothes and the drawing together of my little bits and pieces of information for my mother's eulogy. So really, in order to put this bit on disappointment together, I really just need one of you to drop dead. Thanks very much.
Not it.
Thank you. That was very good. I really like your persona. You seem like to be really like sweet, but really tough and cutting at the same time, which I like that combination. I don't know how you do that. And what are the chances I would get disappointment? That's really funny. And I like how you did all the languages and the way that you really worked. Each word had its own intonation, and like you really put a lot of meaning behind your writing. Yeah, that was good. I don't really have anything to add to that. What about you, Kate? What did you think?
I agree. I liked your vibe. I think I would have loved to hear like some of the disappointment, like make some funny disappointments. And you're like, oh, how'd they know? Are they stalking me? And then kind of go into a self-deprecating set about things that you've done that are disappointing, or things about your life that are a disappointment. And, you know, of course, it's going to be exaggerated and make a few things up. I thought the story, the saying of the different words, you took on this kind of teacher vibe, and then you got to the Irish part and it blew it out of the water. That was great. The Irish, and I think a few more of those, like little Irish, that Irish bit was so funny. And then at the end, when you were telling the story about your mom and the hairdresser, and how your mom was your mom thought you thought you were a disappointment to your mom. I think the story would be really funny, and I don't know if it just cut out because there's a little audio there. But when you get to the end of that story and she's saying, oh, were you the one married to the pilot or the one with the daughter or with all the kids? Right? No, I'm the third child. Like they shouldn't even mention you to the hairstylist. That's where I thought it was going, and I think that would be really super funny. Like, no shit, even after death, your mom's telling you what a loser you are. I think that would be really funny. But great job. It was really fun seeing your comedy.
That would be a good twist. I like that. Thank you.
What about you, Naren? What did you think?
Well, I got bits and pieces of it because my internet is a disappointment. But I do like how you were able to break down the word into many different languages. I could feel what your character would normally be like here on stage, just because how you delivered that there. I'm assuming that's kind of like an extension of what you are on stage, right, Lori?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, like I agree. Kate does have a nice teacher vibe there. I do like how you. I really liked what I could hear. So this part we just kind of just blacked out. I'm like, I don't know this. I just can't hear. But from what I heard, I really enjoyed. I bet you did great. I felt you had a really, really good pacing. I could tell like you put more effort in this than I did to writing something here because you definitely did it in your tone, different breakdowns, and like you had like different voices, which kept like a bit stronger when you did different inflections and different tonality and different accents. That's what I enjoyed.
Thanks.
Yeah. What about you, Brandon? What did you think?
I agree with Kate when she was talking about, the mom. I really thought you were going to go to, I'm the other daughter,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the other one, the third one. So that I really thought that's honestly where it was going. I was going to be like, yeah, but
Yes.
yeah, and I loved how you took the word and you just took all the different meanings of it. It was really kind of cool to do it in the way you switched up your voice and the character a little bit for each one to kind of really emphasize it. I enjoyed that a lot. So yeah.
What about you, Sister Lou? What did you think?
Hey, I would like to, girl, I would just like to give you kudos because I think that would have been such a tough word to, to put a twist on. I thought it was hilarious what you were doing. I like the transitions when you were talking about Trump and even your translations and your definitions. The only thing I would say is maybe just have more fun with the definitions. They don't have to be actual. You can say, what I wrote down was the disappointment was a noun and it means fuck you in 5 different ways, like just whatever, And then when you were doing the translations, I was thinking of like how you would say that in disappointment in Vulcan or as a cab driver or, just adding in different silly occupations or people that we deal with, that is how they would say it to you. But overall, I thought it was awesome. And then like how you ended with the whole "I need you to drop dead," I thought that was hilarious. And then, back on what Katie said, I certainly would have added in, I'm the third child. I certainly would have done that. So that was great, though. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Oh, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. All right, we're gonna move on to the next person, which is Brandon. Brandon, are you ready?
Yes, maybe not really, but okay. All right. So my word was bronze. Anyone who saw the thing in the chat where I was messing with Kevin, that was an inside joke. I've asked him for a different word like 4 times just to fuck with him because it drives him nuts. So he hates it when someone asks for a So every time he gives me a word, I ask him for another one. So he just gives me different versions of the word I asked for. The first word I got. So I got bronze. Bronze. It's a yellow-brown alloy of copper mixed with tin. So really, it's 2 worthless metals that are put together to make a third-place metal, which is another worthless metal. Third place is like 1 step up for participation and 1 step down from the first loser. So I mean, it's bronze is just one of those things. It's everything with bronze. Like I said, 1 step up for participation trophy, 1 step down from the first loser. The other thing with bronze is the one, she mentioned it earlier, but it's a sun tanning. It's bronzing. People use it to make themselves look orange. And I don't get it. I've never understood why people do this. It's one of those things, as more and more people, it's getting more and more common where people go and they get bronzed or suntan and they get the spray on tan and stuff and all that. The biggest problem I have with that is my daughter does this sometimes. She'll go get spray tan and she'll come visit. And I understand now why old people cover their furniture in plastic. Because every time she comes over, after she sits in the chair for a while, when she gets up and leaves, there's this like shape, this orange shape on my couch. And it's like, I just paid $3,000 for that couch and now I can see exactly where you sat. So so that's the big problem with bronzers. I mean, it gets everywhere. I don't understand how any millennials wear white. I mean, these people get bronze and then they put white on and all you can see is these orange stains. It looks like they've been eating Cheetos all day long and it's just on everything. And it's so wrong. I don't understand the whole idea of bronzing. I mean, I'm from Washington, so I mean, really, if I want to be tan, I have to bronze because that's the only way I'm getting a tan. I tried all summer. I went out into the woods and ran away from people because, COVID. So I stayed away from people out in the sun, and I'm still pale. I'm white as white. I got my ancestry. I mean, I need bronzer because there's nothing but white in my ancestry, and I couldn't figure it out. I mean, it was like it just came back and said, "You're white." I mean, that was it. I mean, there was German, English, and Irish. That was it. So, I mean, I definitely need the bronzer, but I ain't doing it because I just got that couch and it's kind of an off-white. And every time, I don't want to make it orange. So, and I don't want to, everyone tries to look like famous people, but that's not the famous person I want to look like. So, that's really all I got.
That was good. Thank you. What did I have? I really like that you were like bronze is like two worthless metals made to make a worthless metal.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if this is for you per se, but I thought for your couch stuff you could say, and now I have a bronze print of my daughter's ass on my couch that I never wanted. And then when you tan, you could just say, I get just more intensely white. I get whiter somehow when I tan.
Yeah.
Somehow. That's funny. All right. That's good.
And I thought that also being bronzed is when they would put people encase them in bronze.
Yeah.
Which I thought that could have been but you went the tanning route, which is fine.
That actually, that would be when I kind of thought about that maybe some of the people that like the famous people we know that have looked bronzed should have been actually bronzed, but it would have made things come better for most of us. But
bring back bronzing, Yeah. But that's everything. What?
The punishment for sedition or insurrection is bronzing.
Yeah.
And then sinking.
I'm sure it would be really easy to convince them as well. Like, you're so famous, now we have to bronze you. You'd be like, oh yeah, I am famous. What did you think, Kate?
I too loved that joke about the third place medal. That was great. That was really funny. When it came to your daughter, you could also say something like, now my daughter, it took so long to get her to move out and now she's still here. At least her tan is, something along those lines. It's a tough word. I think the tanning is funny, and I just can't stop thinking of, I try to go get bronze and I just keep getting whiter. That is very funny. That would be my son. Yeah, that would be my son all day. He's like allergic to the sun. So the fact that you are so white, I think that would be funny. I think that's why Donald Trump paints on his bronze, because it's just paint.
Yeah.
Look at my husband's talking. Be sorry, but but yeah, great job, Brandon. It's so nice to see your face, man.
Yeah.
There's just a person behind you doing the sneaky. What about you,
Yes,
Lori? What
my
did you
husband.
think? Oh, okay. He's
Yeah,
like a spy.
I especially liked the worthless metal thing, and then what was it? Was it like a DNA test or something? The results came back, you're white.
Yeah.
I just how your delivery on that, I would really enjoyed that, and And it made me think, because I also live in the Pacific Northwest and rainforest, and really the only way to get color is if you rust. We make jokes about that. So that was one of the things that might be a nice sort of thing to counter with the bronze is
Yeah,
the only way
to
to
rust. I like
get
that.
color. Rust. I could rust.
Thank you. What about you, Sister Lou? What did you think?
I really enjoyed it, and just like everybody was saying, that whole worthless medal and the first loser thing, I was thinking to kind of expand on it and make like a little run about the not quite awards, like, you know, a Al Bundy shoe salesman, or you know what I mean, people that you would give a bronze medal to,
Yeah,
you know, who thinks they're really fucking doing something. I would totally like that's what I wrote down, was the not quite award, like you know what I mean.
Amazing.
And and then when you were talking about the Cheeto stains and all that, that's like you could do like maybe crime scene investigation, like, you know, or, you know, I didn't even know she was here, or, you know, just kind of expanding on that too, you know, like who needs a blue light when you got Cheeto stains type thing. So, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's not an easy word to work it either.
yeah. Kevin has a habit of giving me some of the ones that are quite interesting. So,
Mhm.
Well, you're antagonizing him, you know.
oh, I know, I do antagonize it. So,
All right. We're gonna move on to our next comedian, which is Sister Lou. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. My word was streaming. And these are just some of the things that I wrote down. I have a flow, but not really, but it doesn't matter. So to me, streaming started like, you know, just regular entertainment. And now with the pandemic, it's a whole fucking lifeline. Like streaming now is the cool kids fucking hangout. You know what I mean? And I'm just always trying to be anti, because I was like always a loner. So I feel like, why should I have to pay for this shit? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, if I don't, then I'm outside of the conversation. There's whole Facebook groups about one show and everybody's talking about, did you see it? And it's like, oh, no, I don't have it, you know, type thing. So I'm trying to work it into my dating life. Like, you know, if you really are feeling me, then you need to email me a link and a password. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me baby unless you put a password behind it. You understand? Then you don't give me the password, then you don't really like me. You know what I mean? And I know y'all probably thinking, why don't you just pay for it? You know? And I'm like, go fuck yourself, okay? Because how many $13.99 a month am I going to pay for me and my cat to watch? You know, this shit is just us in the house. Like, this is dumb. If there's like 9 different channels, literally on top of your cable, on top of your internet, I'm not doing it. So I have made that a requirement in my dowry to give me a link and a password.
My dowry.
I'm telling you, please and thank you. I think it's like completely, you know, asinine to pay for my own sleep deprivation. You know, I get on there. There are great shows. I start binge watching. And I can't fucking look away. So now I'm paying for my own insomnia. That makes no sense. Like, I cannot. I just can't, y'all. So, but, you know, I did try to find a workaround with some free ones. Like, there's this one called Pluto TV. I don't know if you guys have seen this app. They have all kind of, they're like 500 channels on there. But the 2 channels that I love, there's one, it's a THC channel. And all they show are like Cheech and Chong type movies, which is fucking phenomenal for me. Whether I'm smoking or not, I just need a glass of wine and some silly movies is great. And then the other channel is like, all they play is like Chuck Norris movies. And I love Chuck Norris. You know what I mean? I'm an 80s baby. I miss movies when they used to kick ass and Chuck Norris cuts ass, just how I want to see it, you know? So I feel like, you know, I just make up my difference of what I'm not willing to pay for with, you know, Chuck Norris and, you know, a couple of 80s movies or whatever, and just try to make it fly. But for me, the streaming thing, I'm just holding on to the last little thread. I know I'm a dying breed. I'm just trying to be anti. Unless somebody gives me the password, then I'm watching everything. Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank
That
you.
was really good. I love the influx you put on every word. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but like I really like your persona. And then you said, if you don't give me a link and a password, it's not serious. That's really funny. And paying for my own insomnia as well. Like, I think you could make those like your regular bits. Like, it's, I feel like it really works. And like, if you think about it, it is exactly what we're doing, which is a little sad, but it was funny. What about you, Kate? What did you think?
I love the dowry line. Oh my gosh. That's part of my dowry. I love that. I think you have a very easy cadence. You're easy to listen to. Even if it's just some, I don't know if you just wrote that today or how long you've been working on it, but you can't tell. Like the way you deliver it, it doesn't look like you just have this natural flow about you that makes you want to lean in and listen because you're telling us something. You're not asking us any questions. You were just telling us how it was, and it was great. It really pulled me in. But that dowry line was classic. It was so good. Netflix is my dowry. I love it. Really, dowry. You need all the streaming platforms. It's fabulous. I think it would be really funny to like have your list, like to put a list of your dowry items. Like that's number 17 on my dowry, you know, and right below and above something crazy too. I think those would be really funny to just expand on the dowry bit and put 2 rando items above and below the streaming service that is the main thing that will just crack people up. Like right below Wayfair and Porn, you know, something like that, something weird.
So, oh, it's right below Disney Plus, but you know, before whatever. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great job.
Thank you.
Lori, what did you think?
I liked it. I liked all the same things. The don't call me baby unless there's a password and a link. Like I love that, and the you're not going to pay for your own sleep deprivation. I love that. It's beautiful. And yeah, the dowry and the THC whatever channel network, and then I enjoyed that. And like Kate said, I was saying the same thing. It would be fun to hear a list of, you know, crazy streaming platforms. Yeah. But yeah, I think your delivery very good.
What about you, Brandon? What did you think?
I agree with what everyone else has said. I mean, I wrote notes. Password for dates, the dowry. The dowry got me. I love that comment. That's part of the dowry, and I agree with Kate that, you know, put something in there. You know, whatever. You know, that's number 17, right? You know, right above and below something. You know, whatever. And yeah, it was great. I loved it. So, and the insomnia. I get the insomnia because I do that one. So.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Now is the part where we move on to our regular material or the jokes we've been working on recently, and we're going to give each other feedback. If it's okay with everyone, we're going to keep the same lineup. That's the word I was looking for. Okay. Yeah, it's all good. So I'm going to start. Brandon has already heard some of my jokes. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. You're gonna hear some of this. I've been working on the same ones I've worked the last time. So
that's it. Okay, that's good. I like your stuff. So I have a gun permit. I have a gun permit, but I don't have a driver's license. I just think the driver's license is too expensive with the classes and the insurance and whatnot. I'd rather just have a gun and take the bus. Plus, my bus driver really loves guns. Whenever I show him my gun, he lets me in for free. The other day, I even got a free bus, which is amazing. Yeah. Everyone loves my gun. Everyone loves it. I keep getting free stuff everywhere I go. I went to a club the other day. I found a cute guy, and I showed him my gun. And I was like, "Aren't you going to buy me a drink?" And he bought me a drink. And then he didn't take his eyes off of my gun the whole time. And as soon as I left to try to make him chase me, he started running around telling everyone all excited. He was like, she has a gun. And like everyone went bonkers. It was crazy. I guess it's because I'm in Canada and we just don't have that many guns. I think everyone should own their own gun. You know, it's super easy. All you have to do is take like a 3-day seminar, fill up some paperwork, and voila, you got yourself a sleek looking piece. Maybe like a cute pink pistol for the feminists out there. No, I heard Cardi B is coming out with a wet ass pistol in 2021. My boyfriend doesn't want to marry me, which I think is weird. He's like, I don't understand marriage because his parents are not married. So I explained to him, it's like you pick someone and you're like, this is it. You're the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. You're my life companion forever. And he's like, oh, I understand. Pass. Which I thought was a bit rude, but at the same time, I don't really want to get married. I just want him to want to marry me, you know. And yeah, I'm not gonna say that one. What else can I say? Oh yeah, so you guys can't tell just by looking, but this is the bedroom of a depressed person. If you could be here, you would be able to smell it. It smells very strongly of soup. Just smells very strongly of ramen. It really hits you as soon as you walk in. And then like my bed, which is on the floor, which is already a red flag, is like full of stuff. There's like books on there. There's like a bottle opener. There's a fork that I use to scratch my back and eat. And I got a bullet stuck between the bed and the wall. It's a happy bullet. It's not a sad bullet. It's a clitoris bullet, you know. But it's too small and slippery for me to pick it up. The bullet, not my clitoris. My clitoris is bone dry and it is huge. If I had to have a sex change, I already have the micro penis. It would just have to sew me up. I'm ready to go. I'd probably get a really good discount too. I'm a sucker for discounts. But that's it. That's everything I have. Thank you.
Okay.
Katie, what did you think?
I thought that was so funny. This is the first time I heard your joke, and my husband is really enjoying it as well. He thought that was hysterical. I really like your cluelessness about the gun.
Mm-hmm.
That the way you like, I just don't like. It was so cool. That was really good, and the gun in the bus bit was so funny. Like, I just not having a car, I just need a gun and a bus. Like, that's so great. I wrote that down in that whole cluelessness section. One other tag that you could throw on when you're like, this is the room of a depressed person.
Yeah.
You probably can't tell. You could say, oh, well, maybe the duct tape on the door might give it away. Because you have like some stuff on your door behind you.
It's funny because they're like motivational messages, so definitely. So yeah,
that could help. So that was just another little tag I thought of. But yeah, that was so funny. It's really funny to hear your stuff. I love hearing new comedians, so that was great.
Thank you. What about you, Lori?
I really liked it. So fun. Yeah, and the obliviousness. I would have loved to have heard even a little bit more of a riff on when you said everyone in the bar went bonkers and he was running around saying she's got a gun, and I guess I even like to expand on the response, but the
maybe like
response,
yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I was like, man, I was like the life of the party. Everyone was like just like really letting loose or whatever, whatever, just because I just thought that I just loved that image of you being so clueless.
Yeah.
And I
wave it around a little.
I love the
sorry to interrupt, Lori. Go ahead.
It's okay.
Sorry.
You can't tell it's the room of a depressed person, maybe, but the smell, if you could smell it, I love that. It smells like soup. It's too good. And then also, well, I mean, it's something I know about from depression is having a depression nest, right? Your bed is on the floor. This is my depression nest.
Oh, I didn't know that was relatable. I wanted to talk about my nest before, but I'm like, people are gonna think it's weird, but you have
It's
a nest
the
as
thing.
well. That's
It's the
amazing.
thing. Sure. The depression nest with your dual purpose fork.
Yeah, okay. Thank
It's
you.
fun.
What about you, Brendan? What did you think?
I loved it. I like, I mentioned it earlier, so I've heard some of them before, and I enjoyed it. I love the addition of the wet ass pistol. That
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that one before, and that got me. That was good. No, I love your set. As I've said before, I love your set. I love the pace you do it. Like you said, the cluelessness of the gun, where you're just like, yay, and all this stuff, and you're like, wait a minute, yeah, I love it. So I think you put it off really well.
Thank you. What about you, Sister Lou?
Hey, I wrote a couple of notes. Piggybacking on what everybody said, the cluelessness of the with the gun thing. I was saying, I get free stuff. It's pretty handy on date nights. And with these pesky rules, I could keep having fun if it wasn't for these meddling kids. It made me think of like how the villain always gets caught on Scooby-Doo, and he's all like, I would have kept going if it wasn't, for these meddling kids. So I don't know. For some reason, I wrote that down. These little pesky, uptight rules, but they weren't meddling in my mess. And then something you had said, girl, my handwriting is horrible. So you said something about your clit and if it was dry or something. And so I wrote down, I got inches. If I'm celibate any longer, I have a natural sex change, or I'm paraphrasing, but I had wrote something like that down. Being celibate any longer would be like a natural sex change or something you said about that. You had to do a soda or something. And I was like, oh, wow, that could be like a natural sex change, because everybody's in this pandemic, everybody's celibate. Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean? Like it's almost closing up. Everybody's like, it's not working anymore.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that could work. Thank you.
Yeah, that just makes me further to that. It makes me think, you mentioned about the discount, because all you'd have to do is sew up. Maybe you could even go with the riff on a DIY it. I could just DIY it.
Oh, that is so gross. I love it. Gross.
Also, Victoria, what I was saying with Lori when she was saying expand on when he goes and tells everybody at the bar she has a gun, you could turn around, and wave the gun around, and and the crowd went wild. I just turned around and waved, and it just went wild. Yeah, that would be funny.
She could be like 357 bitches or whatever.
Give them a little key. They seem so excited, right? That'd be cute.
I love that. Thank you. We're gonna move on to the next person though, which is Kate. Kate, are you ready?
I am. This is a bit I've had in my act for a while, but I just always feel like I could use it to be pumped up. So, you guys, today on my way back home, I almost got in a car accident. And it was one of those car accidents where you really learn something fundamental about yourself. I was driving down 405. It's the main freeway in our area. And we have toll roads. I don't know if you guys have toll roads where you are, but we have a lot of toll roads. And I'm driving down 405, no kids with me. It was fabulous. No offense, my kids in the room. I was driving down 405, and minding my own business, got my tunes cranked, but it was raining. And in Seattle, when it rains, there's this kind of misty rain that happens. It's very light, and it totally obscures your vision. Your windshield wipers just don't do the trick. And it was one of those days, and I told myself, self, because I give myself good advice, self, slow down. This is bad weather. This is dangerous. And so, like I said, I give myself good advice. So I listened to myself and I slowed down. And I'm not kidding. Not more than 5 seconds later, the car in front of me slammed on its brakes, skidded sideways, and T-boned the car right in front of it. Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
So I had to take immediate evasive maneuvers. And fun fact, I have cat-like reflexes. So I had to jerk my car to the left, which will take me over the dreaded double white lines into the toll road. But I gotta save my life, okay? So I jerked the wheel to the left, and here is where I learned something extremely fundamental about myself. As I am avoiding sheer death, as I jerk over to the left, I immediately reach up to my toll road pass, and I switch it from toll to HOV, so I can save 75 cents. Yeah, 3/4. I'm doing it simultaneously as I avoid this car accident. It took me another mile to call 911, but it took me no time to save 3/4. I found out in that moment, you guys, that I am one cheap ass bitch. Like, not just cheap, like instinctually cheap. I'm not gonna like super coupon it and get 75 tubes of toothpaste for free, but I will, in a sheer moment, save 75 cents. Okay, here's something you might have missed though. And this is the second fundamental thing I learned about myself in that moment. Okay? I'm also clairvoyant. Did you guys miss that part? Yeah, I saw that accident coming. I saw that accident coming, and that's why I avoided it, because I am clairvoyant. So instead of your traditional merch, I made a few phone calls. And at the end of the show tonight, just come see me. I have my business cards. Feel free to give me a call anytime. It is only $3.99 a minute, and the first minute is always only 75 cents. Done. Thank you. That's the count.
That's a really good bit of storytelling. That was really good. Not instinctively cheap. I like that line. But you're like cheap, like really like to your core. And then I thought at the beginning, I thought you could cut out a bit of the story about the weather and stuff. And I think the clairvoyant bit works better if you do that, actually, because people would be like, how did she know that? Right? That was going to happen. And if you do that on stage, I feel like you can point to people and say like, oh, this is going to happen to you and that's going to happen to you. And like, you could do some crowd work with the clairvoyant. I don't really have examples for you, but.
No, I like that. It's a riff. I like that idea.
And you could
like expand. Yeah, just make up random things based on how they're dressed. I love that.
Yeah.
Expand. If you're gonna go bald early, that's what Vanessa just said. I like that. Expand on the clairvoyant. Ooh, I like that. Thank you, Victoria. That's awesome. Okay.
Oh,
Like I'm ready. I'm taking notes. I've been working on this. It's never felt totally right, but I love that addition.
What about you, Lori? What did you think?
I liked it. I especially related to the part where you were like self, because I talk to myself the same way. Self, listen to me. But then I was waiting for you to be like either ignoring yourself or having an argument, or that stubborn bitch didn't listen to me fast enough. Self, you know.
Okay.
That
Let's argue.
that's just one of the things that I thought about. But yeah, it was good. Good.
Thank you.
Enjoyed your story. Yeah. And is it based on a true story?
Oh yeah, it totally happened on the way to a writing retreat. It totally happened.
Wow.
But not today. It happened, a long time ago.
What about you, Brendan? What do you think?
I liked it. I mean, I've always thought Kate was a good storyteller. So it's good because I like the way you keep the story going with little punches here and there. So it's not, there's little punches and then the big punch at the end. So I like how you kind of keep it going and just kind of keep the laughter like there with little things as you go. It was good. I liked it.
It doesn't feel, I always worry that it feels kind of slow, but you do feel the punches. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good feedback. Thank you.
What about you, Sister Lou? What do you think?
Hey, I wrote down I saw you as an action figure. Like, I don't know who you like, or if you have a favorite, whoever, you could be like, or you could say it was two things. I was like, either you would be the action figure and like make up some kind of, ad lib on your name and just add like electric, whatever, or something. But taking that and saying, well, my inner badass, had me do this, and this, or have you ever had a vision or premonition? I can do this, and this, and I save 75 cents. Boom. Like, you know what I mean? Like something like that.
Okay.
So it was a couple of, either you could be the action figure, or you like you got an action figure on your shoulder, and then they're, like telling you all kind of stuff. So then you're like, you could maybe do crowd work with that, like, hey, she's cheating. Like, I already know she is, but you can just prepare for the alimony. Like, just like you've got premonition visions on everybody, some kind of silly stuff, But I thought it was really good. I just thought about that. You had your thing, and or maybe you could make it something that tied into being a mom and how moms got eyes in the back of their head. They just automatically know everything somehow. So, that could be too. But definitely, I thought it was really good.
That could be my inner voice.
Huh?
That could be my inner voice. The inner voice could be the superhero voice.
Mm-hmm.
My inner superhero told me. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Mom voice, superhero.
We're gonna move on to that was very good feedback. We're gonna move on to the next comedian, which is Lori. Lori, are you ready?
Yes and no. I didn't realize that this was going to be a part of it. So okay. I will tell a part of a story that I have told before.
Okay.
And so I think I can take those off. It's part of a much longer story, which I won't get into that now. But it was a dark and stormy night, and it was the cast party for our community theater group. It was a potluck party, coincidentally, and we gathered at one of the actors' homes for the evening, where we toasted the latest passings of the members of our group, as the majority of the community theater group are octogenarians and above. Let me see. I do need to back up. One of our members brought a plate of pot brownies because it was a potluck.
It was a potluck.
She did let everyone know that they were pot brownies and recommended small portions. So my piece was about the size of a sugar cube. But I did notice when I was eating it that there was a crunch, kind of like the crunch when you bite into a whole peppercorn in your food. At any rate, I had the brownie. And just after the power went out and we were left in complete darkness, people, a lot of the octogenarians, started landing on the floor. They were dropping like flies all over. And I was going from group to group, helping to triage. We didn't know if people were really stoned from the pot brownies or they were having a medical emergency because they were unable to communicate at all. So the ambulance was called, the police were called. Unfortunately for me, several of our younger members of our group didn't arrive until after the pot brownies had been put away. And as I greeted one of them at the door, still mayhem with flashlights, people running around, people on the floor trying to take vital signs, are people breathing? I said to one of the young actresses, I think I need to get low to the ground. And I lost consciousness. At the point where I started to come to, I could hear, oh! And I thought, oh my God, the host's dog must be terrified by what is going on. All the people running around and flashlights and just mayhem. Oh! And I thought, oh my God, that poor dog. Until someone leaned over and whispered in my ear, Lori, you have to stop that. You're scaring people. And that's as much of the story as I will share with you tonight.
That was really good. You have like a good cadence, and like you really pulled me in with all your stuff. I don't really have any negative feedback to give you. I'm really sorry. I'm kind of jealous that you just did that. You're like, oh, I didn't prepare anything. Let me just do this. But what about you, Kate? What did you think?
I really like how you drug out the howling part. Like you really built, and then you were, I was expecting a twist, but not really that you were the one howling. So that was a nice, it was a nice end to the, is that a true story?
That is a true story.
And you were howling.
I was howling.
I can't wait to do pot with you. However you do it. That sounds like a fun night. But yeah, I thought it was, I think if you tell that story again, you can add a few little tags in between to kind of punch it up. But you're a great storyteller. It really, it's like you want to lean in. It's that teacher vibe again. Just like leaning in to learn something. And I thought it was really good. I wish I could feel that way with the little tiny pot. My tolerance is way too high. Like, give me the tray. But yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it. Really, I'll take the whole tray.
What about you, Brandon? What did you think?
I liked it. I agree with that. Your cadence is really good. It's one of those ones. Some people can get away with the slower cadence and some can't. And you really can. You can get away with that slower cadence where you just kind of slow. And like Kate said, you kind of draw the people in because they want to hear what's happening next. You have that, I don't know, better way to say it, kind of that radio voice. That would have been great, really makes me think of the 1930s, 1940s, like radio shows where you really be drawn in by the voice of the person and the way they tell the story. And I love it. I thought it was really good.
Thanks.
What about you, Sister Lou? What did you think?
Hey, I was, I love the story. I think what I was thinking was nobody parties like a community theater kickback. Like,
yeah,
like, oh, like it's a total kickback. And then when the lights go out, it's not as sexy as you think. And what was that word you kept saying? Octogenarian? I didn't know what that word was.
They're all over 80. Octogenarian.
Oh,
They're
that's really
old.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now that's even better. Yeah, I would say like if you're over 80 years old, is that why they were on the floor? Oh shit, that is hilarious. Because I didn't know what they were. So yeah, if you're over 80 and you're looking for a good time, then for sure, you know what I'm saying? The lights go out and you'll be howling just like me, or you'll be howling at the moon very soon. Something. I wrote down zombies and apocalypse. Octar. I can't even pronounce the word, but the Octarian mosaic was on the floor. That's what I thought. Like everybody just kind of laying around. That's hilarious. Who would give pop brownies to 80-year-old people? That's just
80-year-old people.
so fucking funny.
Humanitarians.
They're 80-year-old.
I'm waiting for people to give me meth when I'm 80 and heroin. That's when you do it. What else do you have to live for?
That's some community college you got.
I'm telling you, that is a great story.
Yeah, it's really
That's
good.
all I got.
We're gonna move on to the next comedian, which is Brandon. Brandon, are you ready?
Yeah. So you've heard most of this before, Victoria. It's the one I've been working on. So for those that don't know, I've lost, Norrin said it earlier, about 98 pounds, almost 100 pounds in the last year. And everyone always asks you when you lose weight, why? What was your decision? And most people have, these great things of, oh, my family, blah, 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 all that. I pulled the muscle wipe in my ass. That's really how it started. It's troubling because when it happens, you're sitting there and you're thinking, I did all this crazy stuff as a kid, and now I just hold a muscle wipe in my butt. So you're trying to figure out how to fix it. You're trying to get out, you still got to poop. I mean, you still got to do stuff. You think about asking the wife, and then you're like, I'm pretty sure that's one thing that's not in the marriage vows that they'll do for you. I asked her to do that. She's pretty much be like, here's the divorce papers to wipe with. I mean, it's one of those things you just can't really ask someone to help you with. So, of course, first I got a bidet because, of course, I'm not going to immediately go to working out. So I got the bidet, and I did that. But then all of a sudden, I'm cheap. So, of course, I didn't get the expensive bidet. So I didn't get the one with the dryer. So now I've got swamp ass all the time, so that becomes a problem. So I've tried to explain to everyone why I've got a wet spot in my butt. It's crazy. So then I'm running away from people because I don't want to have to explain these things. Now all of a sudden I'm losing weight because I'm, running away because of that. Now I've got more swamp ass because I'm sweating. It just became a problem. And then I just kept running after that. It kind of became like Forrest Gump and just kept running and running. And now I'm down 100 pounds. So it's definitely a weird thing. And it's been interesting too, now that I do like the bidet and I've gotten used to it, but it is interesting to try and explain to people why I carry a super soaker into the public bathrooms. But it's a whole nother story. But and then the bad part is once you start losing the weight, and as a comedian, I didn't never realize how self-depreciating I was until I went back to my jokes, and I'm like, none of these jokes work anymore. I can't go up on the stage and I start making jokes about fat people. Now I'm an asshole because I'm a skinny kid. They're like, look at the skinny guy up there making fun of fat people. I'm like, no, when I wrote this joke, I was a fucking whale. I'm telling you. But they don't believe you. So, it just doesn't work. The fat jokes don't work when you're skinny. So apparently I've had to rewrite most of my jokes. I used to start off my joke when I get up there and be like, yes, this is what Thor would look like if he had a spoon instead of a hammer. And now I'm like, nope, doesn't fit. So, yeah, so that's one thing I did. That is a downside. That is the one downside I found to losing weight. Yeah, I had to rewrite my entire set because nothing fits anymore. So, yeah, that's really it.
Thank you. That's good. I heard your stuff before, but do you know James Acaster?
No.
Oh. This is gonna be complicated to explain, but you when you do you say I can't do the fat jokes I used to do anymore, and then you explain why. I think you should do a few of them, but badly. Just replace the word fat with thin or something.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
the word joke doesn't work anymore, but you say it anyways.
Okay.
You just, and then people will catch on that you were trying to say that you're fat, but now It's just but if you want to look it up, the James A. Castor bit about dried apricot is what I was thinking about.
Okay.
But other than that, it was really good. And I really enjoy your thing about wiping your ass. That was funny. And it's even funnier that Naren in the beginning was like, hey, you lost weight, buddy, because I knew why you lost weight. I thought it was hilarious. Kate, do you have anything to?
Yeah. Congrats on the weight loss. I think that's awesome, Brandon. I haven't seen you in so long, and I just think that's so great. And it was very funny. I liked the bidet part. I actually got a bidet. I love my freaking bidet. And
Actually, two of them now.
I have 3. I have one in every bathroom. It's just next level. If you're not using one, you're filthy. No, it really is next level. You have no idea until you really spray your butt off. But I think when you were talking about swamp butt, I think that's a funny word, and I think try not to use it too much in that.
Yeah.
Try different things. Like I have a moist situation back there. The word moist is like, people will be like, ah.
Yeah.
So many people have a weird thing about the word moist. So when you were, and then use swamp butt later when you start sweating. I think,
Yeah.
oh, I should have got the one with the dryer because now I got a real moist situation back there. And then I start sweating. Now I got swamp butt. You know, when you add to it, it turns into a swamp.
Yeah.
And then the Thor part, I thought you wanted to keep that in your jokes. I know it's probably part of the bit. I used to say this, but you could say now, what do I say? I don't have it all in my head, but I'm what Thor would look like if he had a spoon instead of a hammer and then had a gastric bypass and now lives in a skin suit. Like you were Thor, you went there and now you lost the weight. And like, so you're self-deprecating even on that, and you can keep your Thor joke. I mean, I don't know what your skin looks like, but you know, or like now with, you know, a waving armpit or something. I don't know, because I know what that feels like. So I think that could be a fun way to kind of keep that in your act if you want to add to that Thor joke. Like I'm Thor that got heavy and then lost weight again, but I'm still not quite Thor, you know? I think that would be cute. Great job.
Thank you.
What about you, Lori? What did you think?
I just really liked it. It was really funny. I guess one of the things that struck me about when you were talking about the contract with your wife and not being able to ask her to wipe your butt, it occurred to me that like there are people that get their asses wiped by other people.
Yeah.
But if you have to ask, it's not going to happen. Like you can only get your ass wiped by someone else when you're at the point in your life where you're unable to ask anyone to wipe your butt. Something about that just popped into my head. Some little riff on if you have to ask, it's not going to happen, you know? I don't know. But yeah, it's funny and good, and wow, it must be quite an experience.
Yeah.
I'm having the opposite experience.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Actually, what's funny is just running for me became that thing that it got me out of the mindset of COVID. So it just became my escape. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Well done.
What about you, Sister Lou? What did you think?
Hey, I really, really enjoyed that. And congratulations on the weight loss too.
thank you.
When you were talking about the old jokes versus the new jokes, I was going to say like you could use a just kind of a segue into, you know, your inner fat person, because everybody who loses weight is still fat on the inside. You know what I mean? And you can talk.
I'll still murder a cupcake.
Yeah, and you could talk about that and then kind of go into it. And the kind of along the lines of what she said earlier about replacing the word, I said big balls. Wherever you would say something fat, say big balls instead of a hammer. I don't know. You know, just some obnoxious words just to, you know, but like, fuck that. I'm not tossing them away. So I'm about to tell some fat jokes from my inner fat person, and just close your eyes. You'll enjoy it. You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool. And then somehow or another, I wrote that you were in a relationship with your bidet. Like, I don't know, like you know. And I love that part when you're talking about taking the super soaker to the public bathroom. Like I hate using the bathroom in public. It's like, and then I want to recreate the whole thing. Like I just want to disinfect everything. So I totally get that. But I don't have a bidet, but I've used several of them, and if I had one, I would totally be in a relationship with one. So I totally understand.
The bidet will do things people won't.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say your wife won't wipe your ass, but your bidet will.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's not gonna divorce you or anything. We're gonna move on to our last comic, which is so Lou. Are you ready?
Yes. I have a little bit. So let's see. All right. So I am fresh off the Miami Shore, the COVID edition. You know, I couldn't take it, y'all. I've been in the house all year. I just couldn't fucking take it. I went ahead and got on the flight. I was so nervous. I had to take a melatonin just to relax while I was on the flight. But what was worse and what was more nerve-wracking than actually being on the flight was everybody telling me that I was just COVID was waiting for me as soon as I stepped on the plane. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, no, don't go. It's gonna be this and that. And it was definitely nerve-wracking, but I made it through and everything went to be okay. So I get to Miami, I get my groove back, baby. You understand? I'm trying to get my brain to shut off. That's all I'm really trying to get it to do. And every time I'm trying, it's like there's a little guy in there playing a banjo, just ding, 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 you know, like it's still going. It took it like 3 days for me to finally like relax. You know what I mean? I feel like you're not actually on vacation until you forget what day it is. You know what I mean? So I was just trying to get to that point, and I finally did. And then I could visualize everything. Say that word with me, visualize. I could visualize all my goals in closed caption. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to stay on point with that stuff. I had took time and I named, you know, all my unfertilized eggs and, you know, setting up all my little links and passwords and everything, you know. I just had so much time to get everything together. And so oftentimes I you know, since my name is Lulu, you know, L and U are my favorite letters. So I've been trying to think of all these words that could go together, like love, universal, and all of these things. So the two words that kept sticking out to me was lick the underworld, you know? And I was like, wow, I mean, I dreamed about, I woke up with a dream like, wow, the underworld, lick it. Like, okay, well, so, you know, in my mind, if I'm going to lick the underworld, then that means my spirit animal must be a vampire, right? I think so, because if I'm going to be part of the underworld, I get to sleep in and I'll be gorgeous forever. I can travel for free. You know, I can be dramatic and nobody will hold it against me. You know what I mean? Just take my time with it. So I'm looking forward to, you know, just exchanging all of those qualities for a little bit of blood. Just a little bit of blood, you know. Ain't gonna hurt nobody, just a little bit. But what was really unfortunate was like when I got back home, I realized that somebody did a hit and skip on my truck, y'all. And I was so pissed off. You know, I really was ready to go ahead and make that call. I took some pictures. And, you know, right before I dialed that number, I thought about it. Like, I live in the Midwest. And it is winter weather season. Am I wrong for driving around with that damage just to see if somebody else hits that exact same spot? Would it be really a bad thing if I waited just a little bit longer and see if something happens with that? Because I'm not trying to mess with my discount, y'all. This is crazy. Oh, so either way, I'm just trying to find ways to make things better and everything stay on top for 2021. And I came back from my vacation with 5 things that's going to help me not suck in 2021. And I'm going to share these things with you. Maybe you could try it too. So, number 1, to be clever, to be respectful, to be resourceful, to be alluring, ooh la la, and to be friendly. All 5 of those things are absolutely free. And if you do those, I guarantee you won't suck for 2021. That's all I got. Just some of my random notes.
Thank you. That
Thank
was really
you.
good. Again, I
All right.
really like the way you speak and like your cadence and your rhythm is really good.
Thank you.
When you talk about the vampire stuff, I thought you could maybe add like I'm thirsty for blood. Like I'm already thirsty for blood. Like you just thought about being a vampire for a second and you're already planning how your day's gonna go as a vampire. And I just love that you're like to be alluring for 2021. It just made me laugh because it's just the world is going to shit like so badly, and you're like, at least if you look good.
Hey. May as well.
But that was good. What about you? What about you, Kate? What did you think?
I thought it was great, really fun. I liked when you talked about naming your eggs. You had stuff
Yeah,
to think
that was
about. I
funny.
named all my eggs, my unfertilized eggs. That's some serious family planning right there.
Yeah.
You know, you could even say I did some family planning and named all of my unfertilized eggs. You know, I think that would be a little added there. I liked when you asked everybody to repeat visualize. That was fun. To really crowd participation. The licking the underworld. Like I was not expecting those two words. I think the vampire stuff was funny. I think what would be a fun add to that section though would be like lick the underworld. Like, oh, that I don't know why that's stuck in my head. Like, what would you lick in the underworld? Like, lick the underworld, and then start coming up with weird underworld things to lick.
Okay.
You know? Like, I don't know what, Hitler's ass, or a pineapple that's been up Hitler's ass, or apparently Hitler's in the underworld in my world. Donald Trump, you know, you could say Donald Trump one day. I don't know. But that's some weird, random, funny things in the underworld. And then when you list your 5 things for the new year, I think the 5th thing should be completely crazy and weird and like not what somebody's gonna expect.
Okay.
Your nice things, and then you come with your like, you know, and to really explore, you know, wearing G-strings more. I don't know, wearing, you know, a G-string bathing suit or something that would be out of your character. Yeah, that's a stupid example, but you know, you get where I'm going with it. You know,
Maybe
like
call back
masturbate
to
or
the
something.
vampire stuff.
That's what I was
No,
thinking. Call
or
back to
you
vampire,
could- or
drink
you-
a blood of the innocent or something.
Yeah,
So I
or
didn't
if
hear
you
you
had
say again.
something.
That's like Victoria was saying, call back to the vampires, like drink the blood of the innocents or something, like something, you know, that's, you know, just, yeah.
Mhm.
When I was thinking about your first set, you could do, but you know, I don't know if that's in your full set. I'm like a callback to something from that, and I'm blanking on it now, but that's okay. I think, yeah, a funny callback to something in your set for the number 5 thing would be really awesome. That would just kind of throw people and they wouldn't be expecting it. I think that'd be like a nice list, but one thing's got to be off. Flip it.
Okay. I like that. Thank you.
What about you, Lori? What'd you think?
I
Did you-
missed the last part. Sorry about that. I really loved what I heard. What did I hear up in? I can't remember. I'm discombobulated now. When you talked about taking the melatonin, I was waiting for you to be like, fuck that shit. I needed some heavy duty, like actual narcotics to get me through that, you know, but that was sort of the only thing. Otherwise, I love that the L and the U, like the underworld. Oh my God, how delightfully fun and mischievous and so good. So good. I really liked it. I actually have got an emergency call coming in from one of my kids and I have to go. If there's anything else, like we're now in a group,
Yeah.
will we connect on there again?
Yeah, you can just, if you have anything to
the-
promote, you can say it now and then send it in the messenger group where Kevin is.
Okay.
And he's going to promote it for you.
Okay, great. I have like nothing, but if there's anything else, like this was so much fun. It was great. I was glad
Yeah.
to be able to do it with y'all. It was great to meet you, and take
Thank you.
care and
Sorry.
bye. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully the cat didn't poop in the living room. You
I
know,
like how she said
discrepancies.
that was like really, really that lick in the underworld. I am so glad because I was hoping I wouldn't turn people off with that, but I really did wake up with those 2 words like,
It's so weird. It's so great. It's like, what? She said, what?
It's really
It's always
different.
funny
Wild.
that when it's something you're not expecting. When all of a sudden it's just something random like that, where you're like, okay.
What? I liked it.
Do you have any feedback, Brandon?
No, I mean
Other
everyone
than-
kind of covered what I was thinking. The lick the underworld, like I said, that was amazing. Just to have that, randomness of something you're not expecting. I mean, like I said, if you would have given me 50 choices on what you were going to say with LU, lick the underworld never would have been one of them. And that's what's awesome about it, because it's so random. And like I said, from everything else I'd seen so far, it was completely out of character. So it was awesome. And that it kind of catches the audience's interest. Like, wait, what? So I like that. It was really good.
Thanks, you guys.
Now this is the part of the show where we promote anything that we have going on, like a podcast or any social media we want people to follow us on if they liked what they saw. Kate, do you have anything?
Well, you can catch me in my kitchen cooking for my family 7 days a week. I'm here all week, people. Oh God. You can find my Facebook page at Kate Carlson Comedy, and it's the Kate Carlson with the EN. Just because Carlson is a lot of Carlsons to write on Facebook. And it's at Kate Carlson Comedy on Instagram and Twitter, but I'm usually on Facebook. Or you can find me at Kate Carlson on Facebook. And I friended the lovely ladies that were in this room, which was so awesome. You rarely are on anything where it's a majority of women. So I have to say, I'm sorry that Lori left, but Victoria and Sister Lou, I love meeting both of you, and I friended both of you, and you guys are great, funny ladies. It was so wonderful to meet you too. Thank you, Brandon. I just love seeing you again. I can't wait till we see each other in person.
Hopefully soon, once this calms down a little bit.
Nightmare's over. Yeah.
So.
Brandon, do you have anything to promote?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple shows. I do the Renurse podcast with my buddy Matt, who we've been doing comedy together since the beginning. I also do Love and Hate Radio on NWCZ Radio on Monday nights with my child, my 18-year-old. We have a little comedy show that we do that's just us randomly talking to people and having a blast. Kevin's on it quite a bit. We have him all the time because it's kind of, we have our, I guess you call it the COVID team. They're the people that we kind of still record with, even though, through COVID. And then I do another show, a conspiracy. I don't like to say theory podcast. It's more a conspiracy realist because I don't buy into most of it. It's more of like, let's look at the facts and understand it, that I do Sunday nights on NWCZ Radio as well, called Down the Rabbit Hole. So you can find me on Instagram and links to all of that. Mr. spelled out MISTR, Mr. _B666. So
Perfect. Thank you. What about you, Sister Lou?
Hey, I have I just started a couple of series on Instagram. I'm still kind of getting used to doing the whole show thing, but it's on Instagram and it's _sister_LU. It's not very, I don't have a whole bunch of stuff, but I do enjoy, I jump on other people's shows from time to time, but I can't even tell you right now off the top of my head, but I did start doing my own recordings and stuff like that on Instagram. So I'm branching out into it. So it should be more to come for sure.
Good. Thank you. As for me, you can find me every Thursday. I do movie trivia night with Claudio Capri, which is another comedian. You can find the group on Facebook, Victoria and Claudio's Movie Trivia Night. You can win a prize if you win the trivia night. And every Sunday, I do the Dirty Four podcast with 3 other dirty comedians, and we're just very crass and vulgar for 2 hours. And we have guests on sometimes. This Sunday,
Well,
we
that
have
sounds
David
fun.
Ramsey. Well, some people like that. I just want a warn everyone. If that's not your jam, don't like show up and be offended, because it's offensive. What else do I do? And I have an Instagram at Victoria for Days and a YouTube, and I would really like it if more people followed or subscribe me because it makes me feel like I matter.
Already following you.
I know. So that's it for that. Did you guys have fun?
I had a blast.
Very much so. I enjoyed this so much.
We're gonna say good night to everyone watching because it's very late. So good.
It is
Good night, everybody.